cottage where time sleeps. There is a path at the edge of the old woods, a narrow thing barely wider than your shoulders, where the ferns lean in to brush your sleeves, and the trees overhead have long since woven their branches into a canopy so thick that even afternoon light arrives as soft golden coins on the forest floor. You have walked this path before, I think, in a dream maybe, or in that quiet place just behind your eyes, when the day finally lets go of you. Tonight, you follow it again. The air is cool and smells of pine resin and damp earth, and something faintly sweet, honeysuckle, perhaps, or the ghost of old wood smoke. Your footsteps are nearly silent here. The path knows you. It softens beneath you, the moss rising up to meet each step with a gentleness that feels almost intentional. Breathe in slowly. There is nowhere else to be. And then, through the trees, a warm amber light. The cottage sits in a small clearing where the forest steps respectfully back, as if it has always understood that this place belongs to something older and quieter than trees. It is a small house, low-roofed, stone-walled, with a chimney that breathes a thin curl of smoke into the darkening sky. The windows glow like held lanterns. There are window boxes spilling over with sleeping lavender, and a wooden door the color of old honey, and above it, half hidden in climbing ivy, a small carved sign that reads simply, "Rest here." You push the door open, and the cottage sighs with warmth. Inside, everything is soft. A wool rug in faded reds and creams covers the stone floor. A low fire burns in a wide hearth, unhurried, each flame moving with the slow contentment of something that has nowhere to go. On the mantel, a single candle, a bowl of smooth river stones, a cup of tea that is somehow still hot. You did not make it, but it is yours. It was always going to be yours. You notice then that there are no clocks. No ticking, no chiming, no hands sweeping their quiet mechanical circles. Time does not live here the way it lives outside. Here it has set itself down, laid its long coat over the arm of the chair by the fire, leaned its head against the wall, and simply rested. You feel it immediately. The knot at the back of your neck loosens. The tightness behind your eyes begins to release. Slowly, like a fist gradually opening, your shoulders drop. You had forgotten they were up. There is a chair waiting for you, deep cushioned, covered in something soft that might be velvet or might be the memory of velvet. You lower yourself into it, and the chair receives you completely, the way only the best chairs do. On the small table beside it, a knitted blanket, loosely folded. You pull it across your lap without thinking. It smells of cedar and something floral you cannot name. You do not need to name it. You only need to breathe. The fire speaks in small, quiet languages, a soft pop, a low exhale, the occasional delicate crackle of a log, settling deeper into itself. Rain begins outside. You can hear it on the roof, patient and steady, finding its rhythm the way rain always does eventually. It does not ask anything of you. It does not need you to listen, but you listen anyway, and it is the most restful sound in the world. Water returning to the earth, the oldest repetition, the sound the night makes when it is simply being itself. You are safe here. You are held. On the shelf across from you, small glass jars hold colored light, soft cottage has been collecting them, gently, the way you collect shells on a beach without quite deciding to. Your eyes are heavy now, not from sadness or tiredness in the worried sense, but from that deep, earned heaviness that comes when you have finally, truly stopped. The fire is low and warm, the rain has found its lullaby rhythm, the chair holds you, the blanket holds you, the cottage holds you. Outside, the forest keeps watch the way forests always have, quiet, patient, older than any fear you have ever carried. You are its guest, and it asks nothing in return except that you rest. You close your eyes and let the heaviness settle deeper, but sleep does not come immediately. Instead, there is something else, a gentle awareness that you are not quite alone, not in any way that disturbs the peace, but in the way a garden knows its tending hands, or a book knows its careful reader. The cottage breathes around you, and in that breathing you sense the presence of all who have found this place before you, travelers like yourself who stumbled down that mossy path when the world grew too sharp, too fast, too much. Their rest has seeped into the walls like sunlight into stone. You can feel it in the way the chair cradles you, shaped by countless others who sat here and let their shoulders drop, let their breathing slow. The blanket carries the warmth of every person who pulled it close when they needed holding. This is not a lonely cottage, you realize. It is a beloved one. It has been filled again and again with the quiet relief of people finding exactly what they did not know they were looking for. The fire shifts, and a new log catches with a soft whisper of flame. You open your eyes just enough to watch the light dance across the ceiling beams. Old wood, dark with age, carved with symbols you cannot read but somehow understand. Protection, welcome, the promise that some things endure not because they fight the passage of time, but because they know how to hold space for what matters most. Your breathing has matched the rhythm of the rain now, deep and steady and unhurried. Each exhale carries away something you no longer need, a worry, a tension, a sharp edge that was cutting you from the inside. On the mantel, the single candle flickers, once, twice, then settles back into its steady glow. The flame is the color of honey and wheat fields and late summer afternoons, when time moves like thick amber. You watch it without thinking, letting your focus soften until the light becomes less a thing to see and more a feeling to rest within. The teacup steams gently beside it, and you realize you could rise and drink from it, taste whatever warm comfort has been prepared for you, but you do not need to move. The offer itself is enough. Outside, an owl calls once, soft and distant, then falls silent. The sound reminds you that there is still a world beyond this clearing, beyond these stone walls and glowing windows, but it feels very far away now, not lost, not forgotten, but simply set aside the way you might set aside heavy clothes after a long journey. It will be there when you return to it, but for now, for this suspended moment, you belong entirely to this pocket of peace. Your phone, wherever you left it, has no power here. Your schedule, your obligations, your endless list of things to do, they wait outside like patient horses, content to graze in some other field while you rest. You let your gaze wander to the bookshelves that line the far wall. The spines are worn soft, the titles barely visible in the firelight, but you can sense their contents, stories that know how to unfold slowly, poetry that moves like water over stones, pages that have been turned by gentle hands in moments just like this one. One book lies open on a small table, its pages moving slightly in the warm air that rises from the hearth. You cannot read the words from here, but you do not need to. Whatever wisdom lives in those pages has already found its way into the air you breathe. The cottage settles around you with a sound like a contented sigh. Your body has grown heavy in the best way, each limb soft and warm. Beneath the blanket, your hands rest open on your lap, palms up, no longer holding on to anything. When did you let go? You cannot remember the moment, only the relief of it. The chair seems to have molded itself perfectly to your shape, or perhaps you have melted perfectly into its embrace. The distinction no longer matters. There is only this: the fire's gentle warmth on your face, the rain's lullaby on the roof, the blanket's soft weight across your legs. Somewhere in the cottage, a clock would be ticking if there were any clocks, but there are not, and the absence feels like a gift you did not know you needed. Without the steady march of seconds, minutes lose their urgency, hours become meaningless. There is only now, stretched wide and deep, like a warm pool you can sink into without fear of drowning. Your breathing has slowed to match the cottage's rhythm, and the cottage breathes with the rhythm of the earth itself, patient, ancient, unworried by the small frantic pace of human days. A log crumbles softly in the fire, sending up a small shower of golden sparks. You watch them rise and fade, each spark a tiny star living its brief, perfect life in the warm air above the flames. They remind you of moments from your own life, small, bright instances of joy or peace or simple contentment that flared briefly and then settled into memory. But here in the cottage, those moments feel closer, more solid. The jars on the shelf seem to pulse gently with their captured light, holding your brightness safe until you need to remember it again. Your eyelids flutter closed once more, and this time you do not fight the heaviness. Sleep begins to approach like a careful friend, not rushing, not demanding, but simply making itself available. You can feel it at the edges of your awareness, soft, wordless, kind. The cottage will keep you safe while you rest. The fire will tend itself. The rain will continue its gentle song. And when you wake, whether in minutes or hours, you will be exactly where you need to be. The last thing you notice is how perfectly the silence fits around you. It is not empty silence, but full silence, rich with possibility, heavy with peace, alive with the quiet joy of a place that knows its purpose. You sink deeper into the chair, deeper into the blanket's warmth, deeper into the cottage's embrace. Your breathing becomes so soft, it barely disturbs the air. Your heartbeat slows to match the gentle rhythm of rain on leaves, of sap moving through old wood, of time itself as it chooses. Finally, to rest, the path that brought you here fades from memory. There is nowhere else you need to be. Sleep well, wanderer. The cottage will be here when you need it. That path at the edge of the woods, that amber light through the trees. You know the way now, and the door will always open. Thank you for spending this quiet time with ASMR Storytime. If this helped you rest, leave a gentle like, and come back next week for another story told softly, just for you.